GbpCHF. If there's anything you want us to look at together, please drop it in the comment section. So Mr. Digi requested that we look at GbpCHF and GBP Australian dollar. Let me add that to the chart. You all are welcome. You are welcome. That should be minor. Yeah. Okay, G, we'll definitely look at G. We can't have a session and not look at G. Definitely look at G. So let's look at Mr. GbpCHF. CHF, gold. Okay, yeah, okay, we'll look at all the pairs. We'll look at them one after the other. Okay, so let's start with GbpCHF. So first thing we need to identify is the candlestick pattern for yesterday market. How did yesterday candle close? That will determine the direction for today's market. Okay, let's see how yesterday candle closed. Okay, yeah, so yesterday candle closed as a shooting star. It closed as a shooting star. Okay, let's see the weekly time frame. Okay, last week was strongly bullish. It's strongly bullish. So let's go down to the daily. Daily closed as a shooting star. Yesterday closed as a shooting star. Now, after the close of yesterday candle, we're able to identify a bearish reversal pattern on 4 hour. Let's go to 4 hour. How did the candle close yesterday on 4 hour? Okay. This is a bearish pattern, but not a valid bearish pattern. So I think GbpCHF is still bullish at the moment. Okay, GbpCHF is still bullish at the moment. Okay, as you can see, we have a double top here. This is an equal high. Okay, which is an area of liquidity. A lot of retail traders would have executed sell, and their stop losses will be at this high. This is a very dangerous zone, this level. So there's a high probability they would come clear liquidity residing at this previous high. That is what they are aiming for. This liquidity. That is what they are aiming for. So there's a high probability they will get to that area. Okay. But based on daily, one could consider going bearish. Okay. But wait for liquidity to be cleared before you go bearish. Let's see what's happening on 1 hour. Now, one could have considered buying after the formation of this hammer. One could have considered buying after the formation of this hammer. You can see where the hammer formed. It formed at the previous support level. And you see that it formed at the previous support level. So one would have bought GbpCHF after the formation of this hammer. Let's see what we had on 1 hour after the formation of the hammer. So you can see what we had on 1 hour also. You can see. So this would have been the best entry for GbpCHF. This would have been the best entry. You had bought GbpCHF from this point. Your stop loss would have set your stop loss at this low. Okay, and your first target will be this high. So there's a probability will come clear liquidity side at this high. So you'll be risking about 30 pips, and you'll be aiming for this is about 45 pips. This is 1:1.5 risk reward. Okay, so my take on GE or GbpCHF today would have to wait for the next 4-hour candle to close. Okay, but at the moment, GbpCHF is bullish. GbpCHF is bullish at the moment. Okay, it is bullish at the moment. You should only consider selling if this support is broken. If this support is broken, that is when you should consider selling. So it's either liquidity gets cleared or the support gets broken. That is when you consider selling. If this liquidity gets cleared, if you are able to clear this equal high, wait for a bearish reversal pattern to form before you sell GbpCHF. Sell below support or wait for liquidity to be swept before you go bearish. I hope that is clear. Okay. Let's look at the next pair, which will be GbpCHF. GbpCHF. Sorry, GBP Australian dollar. GBP Australian dollar. That should be minor also. Okay. Okay. How did yesterday candle close? Let's see. Okay. Yesterday candle was bearish. Yesterday candle was bearish. Let's see the weekly time frame. Let's see the weekly time frame. So based on what we have on the weekly, this is a bearish pattern. GbpUsd bearish. Based on this pattern we have on the weekly time frame, you can see this candle was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous high. Okay. This candle was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous high. And this is a shooting star, right, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. Now, after the formation of that shooting star, let's go down to the daily time frame. Probably a fair value gap was created on a daily or 4-hour time frame after the formation of that shooting star. So you can see on the daily time frame, the fair value gap was created there. This gap has been filled. Means that the gap has been filled. Can you see? The gap has been filled. Let's go down to 4-hour. Probably there's a fair value gap above this daily fair value gap. That's the reason price broke out from this daily fair value gap. Let's go down to 4-hour. So you can see on 4-hour, we had the fair value gap here too on 4-hour. You can see this. Okay. This is the fair value gap on 4-hour. And price almost filled that gap. Almost filled that gap. So based on what we have on weekly and daily, GbpUsd is bearish. It is bearish. I hope that is clear. That's my take on GBP Australian dollar. GBP Australian dollar is bearish. It is bearish. Okay? It is bearish. If you are considering buying, wait for price to break this support, which has become a resistance. If you are considering buying, you should wait for this resistance to be broken. This support that has become a resistance. Wait for a candle to close above it. 4-hour candle to close above it. If you are considering buying GBP Australian dollar. Okay, but at the moment, GBP Australian dollar is bearish. It's bearish. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Okay, let's move to the next thing. GbpUsd. And bias for GbpUsd today is bearish. Bearish. It's been bearish. You can see GbpUsd has been bearish after the formation of this angry man. After the formation of this angry man. And this would have been the best price to sell GE. Yeah, after the formation of this angry man, but it's currently trading about 50 pips below this level, below this price, 50 pips below this price. So it won't be wise for one to start selling at the current market price. We have to wait for price to pull back. Okay, this is a 4-hour time frame. I would suggest that you wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, to fill this fair value gap. Okay, before you go bearish on G. That is what I would suggest. Okay, wait for price to pull back and fill this fair value gap. Let's see. Okay, let's see 15 minutes. Okay, so we still have a fair value gap, no fair value gap. So wait for price to fill that fair value gap created on the 4-hour time before you go bearish on G. That's my take on G. My bias for G is sell. You could also apply your Fibonacci. Let's see 15 minutes. Okay. You could also apply your Fibonacci from this swing low. Apply your Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high. Wait for price to pull back to the premium area before you sell. Okay, which will be above level 50. So this is the area if you consider selling GbpUsd. I hope that's my take on GbpUsd. I'm waiting for price to pull back to this premium area before we sell GbpUsd today. There are no major news for the dollar today. Okay? Technically, GbpUsd is bearish. GbpUsd is bearish. Wait for the pullback before you sell. Okay, let's go to the next trade. That will be gold. Okay, someone said we should look at gold. My bias for gold also today is bearish. My bias for gold today is bearish. So let's start with the daily. Okay. So yesterday candle was strongly bullish. Gold was bullish all through yesterday. And let's see what we have on 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hour on 4 hour we have this is a shooting star. A change in trend from bullish to bearish. Now let's go down to 1 hour. Okay. On 1 hour, we have what looks like a bearish reversal pattern, but not a valid. But the fact that price has closed below this support that was created here, also a support was created at this point, and price is trying to break out from this support. If price breaks out from this support, we expect more bearish move on gold. Personally, I don't think this will be the right time to sell gold. This is not the right time to or right price to sell gold. Okay, you should patiently wait for price to pull back. Okay, do not be the one to catch the falling line. Okay, do not be the one to catch the falling line. Just patiently wait. You could apply your Fibonacci from this swing low. As you can see, a favorable gap was created at this point. You could also apply your Fibonacci, take it from this swing low to this swing high. Wait for price to pull back to a premium area, which will be above level 50. And since you have a confluence here, you have a fair value gap here, right? This is a confluence. So you could identify this fair value gap. Okay. So this is where you should consider selling gold. Let's go down to 15 minutes. Okay, we're on 15 minutes time frame. Let's see 5 minutes. If there's still a fair value gap above the one I identified on. So you can see we also have a fair value gap here. And this fair value gap is at premium. The first one I identified is at equilibrium, right? Is at equilibrium, but this one is at premium. So I would suggest to wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap before you go bearish on gold. That's my take on gold. If you decide to sell gold from the current market price, you will be taking a very high risk, right? Because if you are selling gold from this point, you're supposed to set your stop loss at this level. This will be the best price to use as stop loss, the high of this candle. You can decide to set it here. You can also decide to set here, but you can see this price here is discount, is that discount area. So there's a high probability they will go for your stop losses. They will hunt for your stop losses before going bearish. So the best price, it's difficult for them to come to this level. It is very possible, but it's difficult. So this is where you set your stop loss, this level. And that's about 175 pips from the current market price. 175 pips, that risk is too high. But if you patiently wait for price to pull back to this area and you decide to sell from that area, your risk is less. Your risk is reduced, right? From this point, you're setting your stop loss. That will be about, let's say, 70 pips. So at 70 pips, you get it. So, and you use 70 pips, and let's say your first tip is this low. That's like 1 ratio, close to 1 ratio 2 risk reward. Can you see that? Close to 1 ratio 2. That's my take on gold. I am bearish on gold, but I want to see price pull back to this area before going bearish on gold. I hope that is clear. 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 Any question? Any question? Is there any other thing you want us to look at? Let me see the comments. Okay, someone said we should look at EurAud. Okay, we'll look at gold, look at okay, GJ and EurAud. Okay, GJ and EurAud. GJ is bullish. GJ has been bullish for weeks. The GJ is still bullish. GJ is still bullish. It still has a lot of fair value gap to fill. GJ is still bullish. Yesterday candle closed, looks like a shooting star, right? A shooting star, bullish shooting star, bullish shooting star. So if today's candle closes bearish, if today's candle does not close above the high of yesterday, if today's candle does not close above the high of yesterday, then we should expect more bearish move on GJ tomorrow. If today's candle does not clear this previous high, you see. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hour. After the formation of the shooting star on the daily, what pattern do we have on 4 hour? Let's see on 4 hour. So you can see we have all this is a relative equal high. A relative equal high. Was that high used to clear liquidity? Let's see. Okay, you can see this liquidity has not been cleared. So there's a high probability it will come for the liquidity residing at this previous high. Okay, so based on 4 hour, one would have entered buy after this pattern here. This pattern we have here, which looks like an engulfing pattern. This would have been the right price, the right time to buy GJ. And you see, because this pattern, you can see it formed at the previous support. And you see the support. Price formed at this demand area, this support zone. And you see it. There was a strong rejection from that zone. And you see that. And let's go down to 1 hour. Okay, so you can see the pattern we have on 1 hour. This is an engulfing pattern. We had spinning bottom doji. You can see this is a bullish reversal pattern on 1 hour time. So one would have entered buy at this point. Okay, so if you had got GJ from this point, your stop loss that is this low, let's say 50 pip risk. At the moment, you would have made 7 pips. But like I said, this is where price is coming to 131. They are aiming for this liquidity. 131. So you would have risked how many pips? 50 pips. And by now you would have made close to 70 pips. 70 pips. So if you are buying from the current market price, your risk will be high. Price has already moved. Price has moved. You are buying, your risk, your stop loss, please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Your stop loss will be at this level. Your stop loss will be at this level, 112 pips, and your reward will be 63 pips. That's a very poor risk reward, right? The risk reward is very poor, very poor. So if you want to buy GJ, best to wait for price to pull back to a discount area before you buy. That will be my suggestion on GJ. Wait for a pullback, okay? Wait for a pullback before you buy GJ. GJ is still bullish. GJ is still bullish. That's my bias for today. GJ is still very bullish. It's still very bullish. I hope that's clear. So let's look at Euro. And that will be the last pair for today's session. There are no other pair you want us to look at. That will be the last pair for today's session. EurAud. Okay, so as you can see, I took this trade yesterday. EurAud, buying EurAud, currently trading above my entry. Okay, but if you have not entered this trade, I would suggest to wait for price to pull back and see this area identified. Wait for price to pull back to this area unless you're willing to take the risk. If you are buying from this current market price, your stop loss, you can see we have my stop loss is about 50 something pips. Okay, so I would suggest you wait for price to pull back this area before you buy EurAud. EurAud is bullish. EurAud is bullish. That's my take on EurAud. Look for buy opportunity on EurAud. I hope that is clear, Max. I hope that is clear. Okay, EuroCard. Okay. EurOcard. Let's look at EurOcard. EurOcard. I've always advised you guys to stick to one or two pairs. One or two pairs. Just stick to one or two pairs. Take all the risk you want to take on just one pair or two pairs. You focus on studying just one pair. You'll be a better trader. You'll be a better trader. It is gold. Study gold. Understand price action on gold. If it is GU, focus on GU. Study GU. Understand price action on GU. Especially for those of you that are new to trading. Just focus on one or two pairs. You don't have to trade all the instruments to make money in the market. Just focus. Okay, EurOcard. Here's EurOcard. The truth is that most times, not so sometimes, most times, if there are no good setup on the USD pairs, the major currency pairs, you won't find a good setup on other pairs. You won't find a good setup on other pairs. EurOcard. Yeah, that's the process, okay? Process. You be on that process. EurOcard. Okay. Um, EurOcard. Okay. Start daily. The monthly. Okay. Last month, see, this is a shooting star. So this month, I expect EurOcard to be bearish. Okay. Last month, you can see shooting star. Let's go to weekly. What pattern do we have on the weekly? After the formation of the day, you can see what we have here, right? What's it called? Support was created at this point. You can see support was created at this point, and before the month ended, that support was broken. You can see that support was broken. That's an indication that we have more supply than demand. Okay, it indicates more supply than demand. Okay, so last week candle closed bullish, right? Yeah, it closed bullish. After the close of last week candle, what pattern do we have on daily? What do we have on daily? So you can see what we have on the daily time frame. This is an engulfing pattern. So we had several bearish reversal patterns. You can see several bearish reversal patterns indicating that the trend will change from bullish to bearish. Can you see that? And you can see what we have here. This is an engulfing pattern. And this engulfing pattern created a fair value gap. So before you sell, I would suggest you wait for price to fill this fair value gap. As you can see, yesterday candle closed as an inverted hammer, which indicates changing trend. Okay, from sell to buy. So if you want to sell EurOcard, my bias for the month, for the week is sell. Okay, but based on how yesterday candle closed, it's likely price is going to pull back to fill this fair value gap before going bearish. So if you are considering selling EurOcard, I would advise that you wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap, or wait for price to break this support that was created yesterday. Wait for price to break this support that was created yesterday if you want to go bearish on EurOcard. Either wait for price to come fill this fair value gap, or wait for breakout from this support. If you wait for price to fill this gap before you sell, your stop loss should be this previous high. And if you are selling below this support, your stop loss should be a few pips above this high. That's my take on EurOcard. The monthly is bearish, the weekly is bearish, daily looks bullish. Okay, this is a bullish setup on a daily time frame. Okay, so that's my take on EurOcard. Any other question? You're welcome, Mr. David. Any other question? Any other question? There are no fundamentals, no major news coming from the United States today. So there's a high probability that the technicals will play out. There's a high probability that the technicals will play out. And since there are no major news to be released, we might not, see much volatility in the market today. Since there are no major news to drive price. Okay. So that will be it for today's session. If there are no questions, any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? I appreciate you all for your participation, Mr. JP. iPhone user. Who else again? Max has signed out. Okay, I really appreciate you all for your participation. Tomorrow is Thursday. We'll be meeting same time tomorrow. I believe you're on the WhatsApp group. If you have any questions, please drop it on the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Do have a wonderful day.